Manhattan grand jury investigating former President Donald Trump's alleged role in giving hush money to adult film star Stormy Daniels is reportedly back at work today, but several sources are reporting that it will not be discussing the former president's case today. Yesterday's session was canceled due to undisclosed reasons. Now, last weekend, the former president tweeted that he expected to be indicted on Tuesday, and so far that hasn't happened. One of the former president's lawyers, in the meantime, scheduled to testify tomorrow before another grand jury. This one is looking at classified documents found at Florida's Mar-a-Lago resort. The grand jury wants to hear from Evan Corcoran. It also wants Corcoran's handwritten notes about conversations with the former president. The lead prosecutor in Trump's first impeachment trial says that he wishes other investigations moved this quickly.
I certainly think that the Justice Department should have pursued this with far more urgency. It appears, at least vis-a-vis the Mar-a-Lago case, there is that urgency now. I've never seen a briefing schedule where you're asked to brief, up until midnight.
Now, in previous testimony, Corcoran invoked attorney-client privilege, and an appeals court has since ruled that it doesn't apply in this instance because Corcoran's interactions with Trump could have been in furtherance of a crime. Let's get you right out to Scripps News national political correspondent Kevin Strulli joins us now live from Capitol Hill. So, Kevin, like we were just saying, Trump's attorney dodged previous questions about Trump using attorney-client privilege. Let's talk about that strategy specifically and whether or not he'll be able to use that this time around.
Well, they're saying they could be. But look, I think from a broader standpoint, former President Trump facing multiple legal exposure risk today, as quite frankly, the Justice Department on a separate case as it relates to Trump's handling of classified documents that he had shipped from the White House down to Mar-a-Lago after he left office. The Justice Department getting a small win. They are now going to be able to look into documents that Trump had with his legal team as it relates to his handling of these classified documents. And that could present a risk for him on a separate case than the one that the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is looking into. As it relates to a client-attorney privilege, take a listen to what Congressman Adam Schiff had to say, a top Democrat in the House of Representatives. Here he is.
That attorney-client privilege is generally so worthy of protection, but here you're going to have the attorney now go into the grand jury, and that attorney is going to be faced with potentially telling the grand jury information that will incriminate his client, or if he doesn't, then there's a risk, if he's not truthful, that is, there's a risk of incriminating himself. So I have to imagine that he's going to want to go in there, tell the truth, and let the chips fall where they may.
So look, I think, Democrats are taking a hands-off, wait-and-see approach over the next couple of days as they wait to see what happens as former President Trump sets to head the campaign trail down in Waco, Texas this weekend. In addition to that, Republicans, especially in the House of Representatives, still very much walking in lockstep with Trump, including House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, a Republican from Ohio, who has now called into question the politics surrounding the Manhattan District Attorney and sending additional letters of correspondence to former prosecutors who worked with Bragg and saying that he has been acting politically. So Republicans really feel that this is politics playing out. But the biggest difference, again, as you alluded to, is you've got a crop of 2024 contenders in the Republican Party who would not mind if these cases made Trump take a dip in the polls. That hasn't been the case, though. Trump, according to virtually the polls, remains at the top of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, we have talked about how he's been using a lot of this to fundraise at the end of the day. And Kevin, I am sure that his team is almost certainly going to appeal these decisions. I'm sure that he's hoping to avoid his lawyers testifying. So what are the chances that he will win these appeals?
Well, look, I think as it plays out in the courts, the question becomes, does it matter? Quite frankly, according to Trump world, if he were to win or lose a misdemeanor charge. Right now, they have been, as you mentioned, fundraising. They've also been using this as an opportunity to politically attack their opponents. Case in point, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And if you look at the polls, DeSantis has taken a hit. And they've really used this, the entire Trump world coalition, from former aides to the ultra-conservative Trump wing media, has used this as an opportunity to lump Ron DeSantis with former old guard Republican leadership, and they feel that this is an opportunity for them to really define the contours of the primary, and that's what you're seeing on full display.
All right, Kevin Swirly reporting live for us from Capitol Hill. Kevin, thank you so much.